What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know, including Paige's unwanted attention, a new rule for NXT stars, the possibility of an AEW pay-per-view, this year's wrestling SuperBowl connection, more WWE employees possibly leaving Titan Tower, John Cena's WrestleMania 36 plans, the XFL set to lose millions, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. But let's waste no further time and get straight into the first bit of news on whether John Cena will return at WrestleMania 36. John Cena is a busy man, with fans wondering if the wrestler turned movie star even has time to appear at the Showcase of the Immortals. In an interview with Sports Illustrated's Jimmy Trainer, Cena revealed, "Performing at WrestleMania this year would be a gift. I haven't been intertwined in the machine of the WWE. I know those WrestleMania spots are few and far between. I've expressed that I'm off, but I've also expressed that I live in Tampa." It seems as if Cena recognizes that the WWE gave him the opportunity to branch out into Hollywood, and that he is grateful for how much he's done since working in the WWE. Cena also discussed his close relationship with Vince McMahon and how he would help him in whatever way was needed. "I will for sure be at the event, and I have great trust in the process, and I have great faith in Vince McMahon not only as a boss, but as so much more than that. As a friend, as a mentor. If he were to tell me that he needs me, I would absolutely be active in whatever capacity, whether it would be like last year in New York rapping my way to the ring, or the year before being a fan in the stands. There is no job too small." Would you want to see John Cena lace up the boots again for a match? Be sure to leave your comments down below. Next up is a New Japan star headed to AEW. Although All Elite Wrestling hasn't been able to establish a working relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling, Sports Illustrated and the Wrestling Observer are reporting that AEW is close to bringing in New Japan star Lance Archer. Now, some may not have heard of Archer, but he's done well for himself, as seen in a mini bio by WrestlingNews.co. Archer has won titles in a dozen promotions, and his stock has risen in the last couple of years as his ring work has improved. Archer won the NWA World Tag Team Championship on 2 occasions in TNA with partner Kid Cash. He's also a 3-time IWGP Tag Team Champion with Davey Boy Smith Jr. and a former IWGP United States Champion. While Archer sounds like a good fit for AEW, the promotion needs to land a big name from the WWE, as they did with Chris Jericho and Dean Ambrose. Next up, WWE's new rule in NXT. It looks like the WWE is adding another rule for NXT superstars. As you might recall, they were recently told not to tag Raw or SmackDown superstars in social media without official authorization. We're talking to you, Matt Riddle. But according to Fightful Select, NXT superstars are not to speak to the dirt sheets. What really rubbed some NXT stars the wrong way was the way the WWE made the directive, with Fightful Select reporting, "One source previously unfamiliar to Fightful in NXT said that they reminded me that I'm a contractor, then tried to tell me who I couldn't talk to, so here I am," before reiterating issues with crowning at the PC. Now, NXT performers are in a tough spot to begin with. As Wrestlelamia pointed out recently, NXT stars work more live events than the main roster, yet are paid a flat rate rather than compensated for each appearance. Granted, many of them are trying to break into the main roster, but it's difficult to imagine such a restrictive work environment for people who are independent contractors in name only. Next up, Paige's unwanted attention. A current WWE backstage contributor and former 2-time Divas champion Paige took to social media to show off her new look. However, as often happens, this seemingly harmless photo led to a social media shitshow. Paige posted a picture of herself and her dog, with Twitter user PWStream asking, "Is it me, or does it look like someone got some work done?" It was obvious the anti-diva had breast augmentation surgery, but as always, people decided to express their disappointment with the following post. "Who she once was, who she is now. So sad. Looks like a totally different person from that natural rebel beautiful girl that conquered NXT and main roster once in our hearts. Once my favorite female wrestler." She also tagged Paige in the post. This got the attention of Paige's mother, who tweeted back, "She was 18 years old when she moved to USA for WWE. She is 27 now. And she has also been to hell and back and had to have work done. My daughter is amazing, and I would rather her look this way than seeing her broken. She's a survivor and she is now happy. She is beautiful. However, as one fan noted, I don't understand why women have to butcher their looks to feel better. Yes, I said butchered. She was so stunning, just like Charlotte, and then they inject and inflate and it destroys their look. I know people who have been to hell and back and they're not stuffing DDs. At one point, Paige posted a meme of a shirtless fat man bemoaning a beauty contestant's nose as he sat on his couch drinking a beer. When one person attacked Paige for posting the meme, she defended herself tweeting, "So you're saying it's okay for people to attack us and we can't stick up for ourselves? Because we never start this stuff, by the way. We don't go out of our way to insult people, but God forbid we respond back, we are the bad ones. Even though we deal with constant cyberbullying, but what you're not understanding is, people go out of their way to belittle and insult celebrities on how they look, and yet get offended if you do it back. Yet I was never pointing out a single person. I was pointing out the hypocrisy of the people that spew hatred. As we've noted before, there are plenty of people looking to stir the pot on social media, but why waste your time addressing keyboard warriors? Could it be some of these celebrities, not necessarily Paige, like the spotlight, even if it's a negative one? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, WWE requiring proof of health insurance. In case you didn't know, one of the biggest complaints about working in the WWE as a wrestler is that the company does not provide health insurance, a benefit many people get from their employer. In an incredible display of hypocrisy and tight-fistedness, the WWE is now reportedly requiring anyone who is training at the Performance Center to provide proof of insurance cover. According to Fightful.com, they were also reminded that they need proof of health coverage, which may have motivated talent to contact us. In our opinion, this creates a terrible situation for aspiring wrestlers, considering the relatively low income new performers get. Add in that health insurers are likely to either greatly increase the premiums for someone who works as a professional wrestler or drop them entirely, and you have another example of the WWE's poor treatment of workers. Sadly, until wrestlers band together, little is gonna change, particularly with the WWE's recent financial problems. But whilst we're on the subject of unhappy workers, are more employees possibly leaving the WWE? As the dismissal of WWE co-presidents George Barrios and Michelle Wilson still has people talking. During an episode of the Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Don't Question My Sources Meltzer commented that both Barrios and Phillips were responsible for bringing in a number of employees to the WWE. Other sources have said Barrios and Phillips were well liked, but there were conflicting reports as well. Meltzer believes if Barrios and Phillips opt to move to another company, there could be an exodus of their colleagues. Next up, Super Bowl solicitation. No, we're not talking New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft's alleged extracurricular activities at the local massage parlors, but the abundance of promotional efforts made at the big game. While we are all about wrestling, although we should know our old video game channel Wrestlelamia for the purposes of full disclosure, we had to mention Super Bowl 54 as a slew of WWE superstars took to social media to note their appearance, as did AEW's Cody and Brandy Rhodes. More importantly, the big game featured lots of promotion not only from the WWE, but including AEW and the XFL. With the big game airing on Fox, it made sense to get some cross-promotional efforts for Friday Night SmackDown, with Fox bringing in The Rock to open the show, and Fox using WWE superstars Roman Reigns and Sasha Banks in the pre-show, also hyping up a Pizza Hut advert. The big question is whether the Blue brand will enjoy a bump this Friday after the Super Bowl hype. As for AEW, although the WWE's biggest headache didn't air any commercials during the game, it did take out a full-page ad in the Super Bowl program, which sells not only at the event, but on newsstands. This could be a good thing for AEW as long as fans don't confuse them with the WWE, something the mainstream public has a tendency to do. As noted by Ringside News, it's difficult to get an ad in the Super Bowl program, but the fact that the Khan family owns the Jacksonville Jaguars may have made things a little easier. In case you missed it, there were some other appearances by wrestlers that weren't used to promote pro wrestling. For example, there was a trailer for the Fast and Furious 9 which stars John Cena, as well as a commercial that included an appearance by Nature Boy Ric Flair. Lots of wrestling for a non-wrestling event. Most surprising was the ad for the XFL that aired during the Super Bowl commercial. While it's doubtful anyone in the NFL is losing sleep over McMahon's second go at the XFL, it was still surprising to see the commercial air during the NFL's biggest game of the year. And lastly, is the XFL set to lose hundreds of millions of dollars? While Vince McMahon has repeatedly stated the XFL is separate from the WWE, not everyone, including some WWE shareholders, aren't buying this. In light of the WWE losing $1 billion in a day recently, the following observation from Dave Meltzer regarding the XFL may have them concerned even more. The way it's structured is that Vince is probably going to lose $375 million on this league, and that's what he's going to do at the end of those 3 years. The idea is that he'll be able to get television deals that will total over $125 million a year, which will cover his losses, and then he's okay. You know, there's lots of factors involved in that. Again, the ratings are one of them. If these stations feel it's valuable to pay that much, it's not as long as a shot as everyone thinks. Vince is going to have his hands full if the 6 February quarterly earnings report for the WWE goes badly, as some are predicting. Add on the XFL league that's bleeding money, and there's no telling how it'll affect the WWE product. But there you have it, guys, the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.